What is a tome? Described by the Oxford English Dictionary, a tome is a large, heavy book, especially one dealing with a serious topic. A serious topic. What a good phrase to start. This is Gorganian Tome, not the card, mind you, the channel, which is dedicated to the ethereal side of the card game Flesh and Blood. The card, Gorganian Tome, pictured here, will be the subject of the first video. It only makes sense to start with the titular card, as it sets the foundation for what this channel will be about. A combination of the history of the world of Flesh and Blood, as well as the real-life counterparts of its history. Let's get back to the Oxford English Dictionary. A dictionary, as we all know, is a collection of a language. In Oxford's case, English, it is symbolic that the little thing we do every day, which is also core to the experience of being human. Communicating. This book stretches back hundreds of years and serves not only as a tool so that we can come up with the perfect word to describe something exceedingly rare, but also catalogs the history of the language and, therefore, us. Not a huge surprise, then, that the Oxford Dictionary is, in fact, a tome in itself, and one can effectively trace the lineage of any word back to antiquity. So what, then, does the Gorganian Tome catalog? The history of Wraith? A collection of spells and incantations? Considering the art, done by Carlos Cruchaga, whose notable works include, among many incredible pieces, Alluvian Constellus, the Dragons Miragai and Themi, Corsham, Crossroad of Elements, and Knick-Knack Bric-a-Brac, we see the aforementioned tome resting in a decrepit chapel. Light shines on the dusty cover and illuminates an embossed face. Perhaps this is Gorgon, or Gorgania. The Medusa-like hair and resting eyes suggest something dangerous. As we all know, what happens when we meet the gaze of Medusa. Behind the tome, though, we see the Crucifix of Sol, or Solana, which proffers more questions than it does answers. I find that fitting for the Gorganian Tome, and tomes in general. A tome is innately a mystery, with too many pages to read in one sitting, and too much knowledge for one person. So too, there is no other mention of the Gorganian Tome in the world of Wraith to date, nothing in the lore articles or flavor texts of cards. Its history as a play piece, however, is well documented. First recorded usage of the tome was by Dustin Wienand at the Rocket City Gaming Skirmish season in February 2021, sitting right at the bottom as one of the only cards in the history of Flesh and Blood to have no color. It cannot produce resources, block, or attack. It costs nothing and only draws cards equal to itself and the number your opponent plays. An interesting note about this card, and one that perhaps can shed light on its worldly existence, is that it is legendary, and is more powerful the second time it's played. Does this mean the tome is being fought over by the covetous heroes of Wraith? I say covetous, as that word describes the rune blades, Chain, Briar, and Viserai, who are not only some of the most powerful heroes in the game, but are well known by their unique ability to split their own damage between physical and arcane, that magical substance which is nigh unblockable without specially crafted equipment to nullify its effects. Viserai and Chain are tragic stories of corrupted power, and also the first heroes to use the tome. I don't find that a coincidence. Since that first usage in a simple skirmish event, the tome has gone on to feature as a staple in some of the most powerful decks ever put forth by the players of this game. Featuring in Junio Antono's Indonesia National Champions deck, Max Diekman's Spanish Nationals winner, as well as Pablo Pintor's first ever Pro Tour winning Chain deck.
Available here, and that will spell doom for Florence Pro Tour 1. Here's attack number 1. It's Bounding Demigon.
It's going to get buffed up by this Artivore. This is an attack for 4.
That's lethal.
This is lethal through. Oh, this is going to be. I think this is going to be too much. It does look like that's going to be it.
Does it?
Pablo Pintor is your first Flesh and Blood Pro Tour champion. Chain has risen to the mountaintop.
And Matthew Folk's Pro Tour 2 winning Briar deck.
Put it in his hand. Oh, there we go.
Babble Spark.
Oh, you can see the movement on his hands.
He's
Matt,
shaking.
take your times. Matt, take your time. I'd be shaking too. There's a lightning. There's an overload.
With the 1 arcane damage, he has the resources to pitch for it. He's going to swing with Rosetta Thorn.
Wait, he's gonna hold on. He's just making sure. Hold
You
on.
got to take your time here. No mistakes.
This board's getting a little messy. Come on. Yeah, there we go, Matt. There we go. Clean it all up. Okay, hold on. Let me. Yeah, he's got to shuffle for. Okay. Forgive Matt here. I know I would. This is the last turn of the Pro Tour. I think in his mind, he's like, I'm a Pro Tour champion. Just let me walk through all of this.
Tannen, you do not want, you're at the finish line. Nobody wants to be that video on YouTube of the dude who trips and falls right before it and have somebody walk right across it over your
Corpse.
yeah, basically. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all flesh and blood appropriate ages, Matthew Folks is pitching, belittle, creating a rune chant, attacking with overload, and that's
there's the
game!
handshake. Matthew Folks is your second Pro Tour champion.
Tannen, that was amazing. I'm going to go ahead and get a quick chat with Matthew Folks. You just revel in this.
Oh, absolutely. You can see it on his face. Look at what it means to this man. Breathing a sigh of relief, almost moved to tears here, and I can't blame him. This is the biggest win in his TCG career. A man that has been doing this nonstop for years.
And that's just the beginning. Given how Flesh and Blood's cards don't rotate, there are still so many pages to add to the dusty old tome. And that's how I want to look at it, for now. Given how drab and lifeless the colorless frame around the book is, hell, it even says it's generic down there at the bottom, I choose to think that the Gorganian Tome is blank inside. There's nothing on its pages. One thing that Chain and Viserai learned all too well in their experiences with the Dark Dimension: it's dark down there. Maybe nothing at all. The endless possibilities and mysteries of what are inside this old book are endless so long as it remains closed. I think of it as a representation of the ongoing history of Flesh and Blood, and will think that way about this YouTube channel as well. It's a serious topic, as I said before, cataloging some of the greatest achievements in Flesh and Blood history, as well as the world of Wraith. It's about the ongoing history of the greatest card game ever made, as well as the life-changing effect it has had on players, and I don't just mean tournament winnings. The future may still hold the answer to what is inside the Gorganian Tome, and we'll just have to wait and see. I, for one, am along for the ride, and I can't wait to see what's next.